Happy New Year! This is all very exciting, isn't it? Stephen here with the first video on the channel in 2025, the year of 2025, and it looks like City are actually going to do some very serious business in this transfer window. Well, at least according to the rumours. As I'm live right now, the internet is all going a bit silly over Omar Marmoush and the idea of City signing an Egyptian striker. It's really funny because loads of stuff is kicking off. Hello to everyone in the chat, to Tony, to Sweet, to Mr. Massive, to Brian, to Raise DP, Varun, Manny, Citizens for Life, AJ, and everyone else. Please do give the video a like, and John and Tony as well there. It's massively appreciated. Let's get those likes up. Let's get those names in the chat. And let's try and go through this together. Do you know what? I'm going to do something I've never really said before. Every time, there we go, literally all the colours. I'm going to do 15 minutes to do a super... we'll go live until... One second, I'm doing a super chat goal. There we go. I'll go live till minimum 7:40 p.m. if we get to 5 super chats. I don't know what that means. There we go. I've set that there. So can we do that? We'll chat about all things Manchester City and all that kind of stuff. So I'm very excited for this, basically. I think this is a really... basically, if you don't really know what's going on, last night an article came out about City's transfer targets, and they all felt reasonably actually realistic. They felt like the exact kind of profile, and it was quite exhilarating. I mean, I'll be totally honest with you, I had a few drinks last night when the news came out, and I couldn't go live. I was just not even anywhere vaguely suitable. So I just sat there reading it all on my phone and getting quite excited. This morning, I actually went to the cinema for the first time with Ruben and Nickel at the Toddler Club. It was adorable. So I've been out all day and not had a chance to do video, and now I am. And now I can't wait to talk about it. So that's the sort of the background of today's video. I am sponsored as well today by Football Prizes. Do you want to win a Pep Guardiola shirt, by the way, signed by Pep Guardiola? 39p it costs to enter. I know there's a lot of tickets, but 39p. Come on, lads. Like, you'd be silly not to enter that, given you could win a signed shirt from Pep Guardiola. And there's loads of instant win prizes as well. So you can pick a different number. And if your number comes out with that one, you get that prize as well as the Guardiola one. Loads of random stuff up for grabs. So, yeah. Get involved and win that. Click the link in the description below if you want to win a signed Pep Guardiola Manchester City shirt over at Football Prices. Go ahead and do it right now because you could win something very, very exciting there. Imagine that on your wall. It'd be phenomenal. So let's go to the news. I'll go to the news that broke last night and give you the context. So, it came from Martin Blackburn last night, and then Jack Gorn too. Martin Blackburn is the Northern-based football writer for the Sun. I know the Sun, people don't like the Sun, blah, 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 but Martin Blackburn is very much connected to Manchester City. So if he's saying this, there's something in it. And he said City are having a double raid for Eintracht Frankfurt's Omar Marmoush and Atalanta's Edison. So a second Edison. Both players would be around 50 million. There was also news as well yesterday about... where's it gone? Let me find it. Simon Bukowski also shared it as well. About Abdukodir Khusanov, who is an Uzbeki centre-back. Uzbekistan, I don't know if there's ever a single player who's played in the Premier League from Uzbekistan. I don't know. But either way, he's a 20-year-old centre-back, lightning quick, raw as anything, but also can sort of cover out wide a little bit too. It's one of those things where it's a really interesting deal. It's like the kind of signings that Brighton make, and all of a sudden they're worth £100 million or whatever. That's that level of signing. Marmoush and Edison are a higher level than that. This guy is only a kid. He would be a project signing, but the other two are very much, classic Manchester City signings, I would argue. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. I am really, really excited by these two links. Marmoush in particular, and Atalanta's Edison. I like these for a reason. Look, I know everyone wants big guaranteed names and all that kind of stuff, but if you think about Manchester City's actual best signings, they were always hungry, young to mid-20s players with that step up to take. There were always people like Bernardo Silva, who was at Monaco, or Ruben Dias, who was at Benfica. We signed a lot of players. That Fernandinho, who was at Shakhtar. We signed a lot. I mean, obviously you had Rodri at Atletico, which was a bit more guaranteed, but we've always done well from that sort of slightly second-tier side and signed well. And I really like that in general. I really like that approach because I think you get guaranteed hunger there. These players absolutely see City as their big move and the big step up. And I think in general, these players absolutely... They tread that perfect line of being, okay, they're not probably 10 out of 10 players yet, but they very clearly have high quality and they very clearly could get better while also contributing right now. Like, our squad would look so much better with these 3 players in particular in there. And it would just look so... sort of perfect and so much more padded out because Marmoush should bring versatility across the forward line. He can play on the left, the right. He can play as a 10. He can play as a striker. And then also... I've just seen a really bit interesting news here. Watch, I'll show you through the timeline. Then you got Edison as well. He can play as a DM, would bring us a little bit of strength. So here we go. Who's this fella here? This guy's got 13 million followers, exclusive. He says that Omar Marmoush joins Man City from Frankfurt. Like, it's kicking off big time. So Egyptian Twitter has gone very big on this. Really big on it. So Egyptian Twitter is absolutely all over this. There's so much going on. I'll keep scrolling just to see if anything else is cracking on. But I'm expecting... The thing is, the reason that I'm sort of encouraged by the Egyptian Twitter, do me a favour, by the way, and retweet that, is because... Sometimes when you get a sort of slightly smaller footballing nation, and not Egypt's obviously massive, you know, but it hasn't got a lot of superstars. He said Salah to Madrid. Well, it might not be true, but I guess the point I was going to make anyway is that when you get a slightly smaller nation, is everyone's invested in the progress or the potential of their superstars. So it gets around. It gets around because they want because they want to see, you know, their superstars do well, so people have a lot to say, and that's why, you know, when you see these random accounts come out, it's like everyone's invested. It's a national news story for Marmoush to go to Manchester City. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it's really interesting to see all these rumours starting to come out now. For me, Marmoush should be wonderful. If you don't know much about him, it's understandable. He isn't a name I was particularly familiar with until he started this season either. You know, I can't sit and tell you, but he's been on my radar for a while now, because he's been absolutely phenomenal this season. As you can see here by his stats in the Bundesliga, 15 matches, 13 goals and 7 assists. So 20 goal contributions in 15 matches this season for Omar Marmoush, and he's had a really, really impressive season. In terms of his actual profile and all that kind of stuff, look, he's 25 years old. He'll be 26 next month. He's 6 foot, so he's a good size. He's played for he's had a reasonably nomadic German career. Played at Wolfsburg. He had his sort of breakthrough for Wolfsburg in the 22-23 season. Did pretty well there, scored a few goals. But then it was at Frankfurt where he joined, where last season he got 17 goals in 41, and this season's had his big breakthrough with 18 goals in 24 games so far. And when I've done the sort of research, as everyone else does, when you look at him, what you get from Marmoush is you get a really smart player. You get a goal threat. You get a killer in front of goal. And City just do not have any people who move the needle right now. It's one of those things where we're getting, you know, potentially we sign him, a guy who just likes to score goals, who has a really good burst of pace. He's skillful. He's direct. He has that instinct in terms of knowing when to make a run. He has a bit of X factor. That's the best way to put it, AJ. He absolutely does. He's a bastard in front of goal, and I want that. I want someone who can, or sort of be, people like him, they manipulate space and they scare defenders. Like, he runs at people, he uses smart movement, he likes to link up, play 1-2s and get assists as well. It's one of those things where it's really impressive. And him, to me, right now, 25 years old, obviously just about to turn 26, it's the exact right profile. Like, experienced, he's played European football, he's established now as a good player. He's scoring goals in the Bundesliga, and he's got that hunger to take that next step. And you've got to bear in mind, look, Salah is the very obvious comparison here. Salah obviously is now 32 years old. He joined Liverpool 7 years ago. Guess what? Roughly about the same age, 6-7 years ago, or 9 years ago now. Mid-20s as well. And he wasn't a great goal scorer until he became a great goal scorer. It's one of those things where you can see how it happens all of a sudden. Like, Salah, look, You know, he wasn't a great goal scorer. Then he had a good season, 19 goals in 41 for Fiorentina. Then at Liverpool, he absolutely took off. I'm not saying it's going to be the same, and it's lazy to say it, but the point is making is that a player can go from being a 20-goal player to a 30-goal player very easy for a little bit of luck. Nico, I've been out all day, mate. I'll reply to your DM later. I haven't seen the screenshots going around, but it looks so low quality that I'm not really sure of the legitimacy of it. You know, feel free to correct me on there. But it's one of those things where, look, I'm excited for this. Marmoush he seems like the exact level of signing that I want now. I feel like it's really genuinely exciting. He's got a little bit of magic to him. He's got a little bit of hunger. 20 goals is more than enough. I guess the point I'm making, Brian, is like he could become a really prolific goal scorer. You know what I mean? Like a really prolific one. And the fact is as well, I feel like this is possible now in January. Like Frankfurt do have a reputation of selling when the players up. They've sold so many strikers, Moani, Jovic, who else? There's other ones I can't think of, but they've sold a few forwards before. They're very willing to do it. I think there's a lot in this. And Edison as well at Atalanta. Look, another one of a good profile. We all know about Edison at Atalanta. Not everyone does, but what do you get there? You'd get another 25-year-old. I'll show you his career right now. He turns 26 at the end of the season, so he's still very much 25. He, of course, played a few years in Brazil, Cruzeiro, Corinthians, Salernitana in Italy before joining Atalanta, where he's been excellent for them. 25 years old. He's played for Brazil a couple of times now. He's only just broken into the national side of his form, getting better and better. And he's been really, really impressive. He's a good player. I don't know how good he's going to be, but he does remind me a little bit, and it sounds lazy, of Fernandinho. There's more than little Fernandinho to his game. Ace reckons Edison's a smokescreen. It could be. I don't know. I don't know who else we'd go for. Zubimendi could be the guy in the end. It could be that we do go back for Bruno Guimaraes. I don't know. But these do feel like very apt signings. I get worried about Edison a little bit, mainly because when I watch him, he does actually slightly remind me of Nunes. I don't know if he's the same. He's not the same kind of player exactly, but I see more of a little bit of Nunes, how he moves with the ball. So there is always that. But he looks leggy. He looks athletic. He looks determined. He looks like he works hard. So, look, Edison looks a good player. And once again, he's in that perfect level of hungry, ready for the next move, and he could get better, you know? They could win a title, but Brian, look, you know, you moved to City because it's a very, very big potential move, you know, and I don't really feel I don't feel like they'll be thinking about what could happen at Atalanta where they could move to Manchester City. So, I didn't mean Mateus, yeah, not Darwin, yeah. But he will bring energy, he will bring aggression. It's one of those things where I just hope he has the brilliance that needed. I can't sit here and tell you I've watched much more than the odd YouTube compilation where he looks really good. I don't know, but he's obviously he's the right profile in terms of provenness, you know, in terms of where his career is at now. Khusanov is one I actually really like the look of. I genuinely do. I'm not just saying this. I first heard of Khusanov only, you know, a few months back, when the clips went round of him like sort of sprinting back Van de Ven style, and that's literally genuinely the first time I really heard of him properly. And yeah, he just stood out then, and I saw a lot of people mention his name, and he's stuck in my head since then. It's one of those things where Khusanov is another very interesting signing, a very Brighton type signing. Thank you so much, by the way, Jay. Jay says nothing to add. Just love the channel. Cheers, Jay. I love you, mate. That's really sweet of you. That's very kind, Jay. It's always appreciated when people are so supportive with the super chats and stuff. It does keep the channel going. So thank you so much, Jay. You're an absolute legend, mate. Big love to you. But yeah, big love to you, mate. But Khusanov, Abdukodir Khusanov, it's very hard to say that. Abdukodir Khusanov. He's been playing for RC Lens over in France, of course. He's doing well from this season. Very young, very much seen as a talent that would need refining. But what does he reminds me of, but based on what I've seen him, he is aggressive. He's got a Ruben Diaz-esque sort of love for defending in terms of how he throws himself in front of the ball. And I say this with much love as well, so don't roll your eyes. He reminds me a little bit of Otamendi, but you got to remember, in the 17-18 season, Otamendi was in the Premier League team of the season and brilliant under Guardiola. He's got a little bit of that aggression to him. Of course, you need to rein that in a tiny bit. He's also got electric pace. He also he scored a free kick in the videos I watched as well, and he seems to be able to ping some nice diagonal passes. He's very raw but very talented, and I would absolutely have no problem in coming in right now at 20 years old, given the the state of our current centre backs. And you know what, Leafer's right. Leafer Radaby in the chat says all academy centre backs look great. He's fast, this guy, and strong. He looks a little bit more athletic than our current academy centre backs. So it's one of those things. We'll see how it goes. Look, Jeremiah Simpson-Pusey and Caden Braithwaite look really good. This Khusanov fella looks like he could be an absolute superstar. He genuinely does. It take a little bit of time to develop, but I do very much like these links. These links are just fun, man. They're the right kind of play that I want to see linked to Manchester City. Look, I would love a guaranteed, genuine superstar, but you're just not getting them in January. And I don't see any reason why they couldn't be a summer signing anyway. If you signed 3 players that were really good now, that would improve the squad dynamism, that would bring hunger and ability and actually make City better in the meantime, while also then aiming for, superstars in the summer. Yeah, look, it's fun. Yeah, rebuilds are fun, mate. Absolutely. I find the energy behind these kind of players perfect. I'm a romantic in football. Like, there's something to me. It's like I didn't want Harry Kane when he was leaving Spurs because that story was done for me. There was nothing left to learn about Harry Kane. It was just a boring transfer. At least Haaland was a little bit more fun and romantic. But to me, my favourite signings are people like Bernardo Silva, who comes out of nowhere, so to speak, and not out of nowhere because we all knew he was a superstar at Monaco in the making, but he came out of nowhere in terms of, at the time, came out of nowhere at the time, like no one expected it, and he became a legend at Manchester City. Like Fernandinho became a legend at Manchester City. Like Rodri, like Ruben Diaz became a legend at Manchester City. I want that caliber of player where they're talented, but they take the next step at Manchester City and they become who they are. They become these brilliant players at Manchester City. To me, that is exciting. That is what I really, really enjoy, because they are then intrinsically linked to City, and you develop that relationship with them. And Marmoush is very much ready, he's clearly ready. It's very, it's like De Bruyne was a bit like that as well at Wolfsburg, great, but then he became a legend at Manchester City. And yeah, I just like it, just like Frank Lampard, exactly. Yeah. City legend. It's one of those things where I like this profile. I think it's right. I think it's exciting. I think there's a real energy to potential signings like this. And Khusanov, Marmoush, Edison, look, these are the right profile in my opinion. Does it mean we're going to sign them? No. But I think City's intentions are real. I said that a few weeks back, that I expected City to genuinely come out and try and sign players. I don't think this is the usual one where we're sort of gonna pretend to sign players, blah, 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 nothing ever happens. No. I truly believe this is City trying to sign players. Yeah, we don't tend to sign superstars. Rodri was very close. He's one of the best players in the league when we signed him, so that was a brilliant signing. We signed Cancelo, who was a great player already, and of course Haaland, and De Bruyne was just basically turning a superstar. But the David Silva and Aguero was brilliant. But largely, City do tend to sign players that get better and improve. And I like the idea of these. Douglas Luiz was, of course, linked as well. A little bit of idea. It was linked on loan, but I don't think that will happen. It could be. It could be true. Who knows? We will see. But I am quite excited. Look, Marmoush, for me, would be brilliant. Like, it'd be such a phenomenal signing, Marmoush. Like, he's just so much fun. There's no guarantee that any of these players, by the way, there's no guarantee that any of these are going to come in and be brilliant. That is always the risk you pay. But if you sign the right mentality and the right hunger, then you never know what could happen, do you? You never know what could happen indeed. So to me, look, this is... I haven't heard anything about Marmoush personally, no. I mean, I don't tend to hear a lot of the things these days. It's one of those things where if I do hear something, I'll tell you, but I don't really. It's normally the thing is I tend to hear things if the person genuinely knows that I know. If it genuinely knows something, like they don't just hear general transfer rumors. They'll occasionally hear something where it's like very, very specific. If that makes sense. So we'll see. He looks great. The Salah comparison, it seems obvious, but I mean he's very different. I mean, for what I like about him, he's also a really aggressive presser, versatile. He's agile. He's very good at sort of seeing pockets of space. His passing is good. His link up, his movement, his pace. Oh, come on, man. It's just a fun signing. He looks like a superstar in the making. And Edison as well. He seems like a good player. He seems like a very good player. Like, there's always that thing with very good players. Can they step up and be great? I don't know. Or can they be brilliant? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? So, yeah, I'm very excited by this. Look, I mean, all of a sudden you start to think about a potential team and how it could go and what you could do if City had Omar Marmoush. Like, to me, he would let Haaland have a rest. Yeah, it's all over Twitter. I've noticed that. Lots of Egyptian sources are going big on it. But, it's all very very cagey, that. It's not confirmed yet. But it's one of those things where Marmoush at Man City, oh, come on, man. So if you don't know what's going on here, I'll go to Manchester Iconic, who have been documenting this transfer. Let me find them 1 second. Let me scroll my timeline and find it. So, yeah, I read that this place is reliable, but then also I've read that they're not reliable. So it depends who you read, man. Like, everyone is saying the same thing. So Manchester Iconic have been documenting this. Let's go over here. So it initially started with... it started initially with an article, an Egyptian article account saying that Marmoush is coming. Here we go, this fella here. It said, exclusive, Omar Marmoush officially moves to Man City. That was a couple of hours ago. The article says a source close to Frankfurt star Marmoush revealed to UM7 that the player signed his transfer contract to City today on Friday. We'll see. Marmoush literally follows that account. That's one of those things where Marmoush follows them. So the adds some credibility there. Doesn't mean it's true. It's a big newspaper. De Bruyne follows me. You wouldn't believe me on De Bruyne, would you? So some more journalists and more transfer people have said that City have sent a contract proposal to Marmoush. He's interested in the move. It's one of those things as well where now this account here, it says this guy, Mohamed Murad, the official spokesman for the Egyptian national team, says congratulations Marmoush and City for £50 million. I don't know who Mohamed Murad is. I'm going to Google that guy myself. Apparently he's Egyptian spokesperson for the national team. Oh, sorry guys. I've not made it possible. It's all the suitcases. Nicholas trying to come up here and say hello. Michael, he does follow me. If you didn't know, I'd never mentioned it before. KDB follows me. I'm dining out on that, guys. You got to believe it. Best thing to happen to you, right? Best thing that's ever happened to me after Nicola marrying me and Ruben being born is KDB following me. True story. Exclusive. This guy's gone for it again. It says Omar Marmoush joins Man City from Frankfurt. I think he's just sort of reposting that in English there, by the way. Pharaoh, well, I've got to believe someone talking about Egyptian news called Pharaoh. I've got to believe you there, mate. Says both of those are reliable sources. Yeah, as I was saying at the top of this video as well, I do in general feel the specificity of these sources. I can imagine a lot of people are connected to Marmoush because there's a lot of emotional baggage around him. Oh well, there we go. Adam El Saradi said that I'm Egyptian. Trust me, they're not reliable. So there we go. Make you what you want. Everyone's going for different things. Another journalist has said it as well. Hiya, Ruben. Oh, that's my baby boy. You really want to see it? Daddy's office, yeah. Can you say Marmoush? Marmoush. Can you say...
It's got to be Canada.
Yeah, can you say Marmoush? Say Marmoush. Or can you say Edison? Or Khusanov? Yeah.
That means those two are going to
Marmoush.
But Marmoush isn't.
Marmoush.
Okay.
Ah, Marmoush. Do you want City to sign Marmoush? Look how big he is now, by the way, guys. You went to cinema this morning. But I would be buzzing. You went to the cinema? What did you go see? Was it the Smeds and the Smooths?
On the TV.
On the TV, yeah.
I can reach the doors.
Yeah, you couldn't reach the doors. There's our 4th January signing. Absolutely.
That's that ball.
What a guy. He's ace.
That ball.
This is my son anyway, guys. But I feel Ruben here with the hair. They go, go! See. Yeah! Oh. By the way, guys, I'm a pretty good YouTuber, but I'm going to be not humble. I'm a phenomenal dad. I really am. This little boy, he's obsessed with me. Aren't you, mate? Kiss.
I've got gas.
Got grass, yeah. That's Marmoush. That's Omar Marmoush. He's a footballer.
Say Marmoush.
Marmoush. Goal. But Daddy, so basically, City might be signing this guy, and I really do like this signing potentially, Rubes. This signing potentially brings creativity, it brings goals, it brings a bit of versatility, it brings hunger. It brings hunger, Ruben. You know. And the thing for me is with Ruben the KDB replacement. For me, Marmoush is the thanks, Rubes. You want to wear the glasses? He has ability. He has. He's like a sort of right-footed. Can't see a thing now. They got these fingerprints all over that. I love you. I'm coming. Oh, you can come back to me. He wants to come back to me. I'm gonna be done in a minute, guys.
Come back to me.
Yeah.
Come back.
Can you say sign some players, City?
Put in the thing.
Sign some players.
Put in the please.
Sign some players.
I am.
Say cheeky.
Say sign him up.
Sign them up.
Then
Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video there anyway because I'm sort of like just done it anyway, I reckon. And Ruben's just trying to trash my office. But but Marmoush would be. He's always as big as Rico. He is. I'm excited by this potential signing. One second, mate. I'll be done in a second. I feel bad. I'm going to get him to bed, I reckon. But,
is it big enough yet?
okay, right, guys, we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching this video. Do let me know in the comments below if you. It's okay, little man. Oh, he's all right there. If you do want this signing, I think there's something in this. I think Marmoush could actually come to Man City. There's too much. He's just so specific. It feels. I don't know. There's something in the water. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. The other two, Khusanov, that's once again very niche Khusanov, and I think there could be something in there. I think City are very much. He's going to fall backwards. He's going to very much press the go button, and I think Edison. Look, if he's as good as people say he is, yeah. What I like about Marmoush as well is that I think he could play as a 10. He could play off Haaland as well. Can we replace Nunes? He can replace anyone he wants, man. That little boy is a superstar in the making, as you can probably see there. There he is. But I think they're very exciting signing potentially. Guys, love you all loads. I'll be live tomorrow morning for my match preview, and of course the watch along will be there. Marmoush, Ruben.
And Ruben won't be there.
Ruben won't be there. I'll be able to do some work. Ruben, Marmoush. Bye-bye. Love you all loads. Give the video a like in a bit.